civil war.
Civil war. Can anything be done about it?
The corporate greed, in some sense, is responsible for where America stands at this point of time. They think they are better than anybody else by birthright. The masses is divided,
Which had never happened.
which has never happened as far as
for years, for hundreds of years.
right now. America, in some sense, is the Titanic.
Puneet, what do you think is the future of the United States of America from astrological point of view?
To be honest with you, like if there are not serious direction change from their leadership, I think it's not looking good, like astrologically. Like right now, they are going through one of the toughest period, which could be possible according to astrology. And I will explain to it about a little bit later in the detail. But let's first understand the psychological profile of USA. So USA has a Leo ascendant,
Leo.
yeah, and it has a four big planet in the house of status, house of like how the direction of country is, and that is Sun, Jupiter, Venus, and Mars. So what it means is that USA's profile, it indicates a ruler, for sure it's a monarch, a country which is monarch plus country which cares about social status. So how other people treats you, how other people pay respects to you, that matters. Like that is the psychology of a country.
Yeah.
So it has its pro, it has its down. So I will try to also explain. So American psychology is that we are the richest, we are the most powerful in the world, and we want to be respected. So like if there is not enough respect, then you can consider America as someone, some rich, powerful guy, and you did something which it doesn't like, and it has a repercussion. That kind of psychology USA have from the perspective of psychology. But at the same time, since it's a very powerful horoscope and it indicates great management, it's like great ambitions, understanding of new ideas, understanding of different things, innovations. So these things was also very strongly activated till a certain point of time. But recently, the planetary period changed for USA, and many things started to go not in the right direction. But from psychological perspective, the strong side of USA is it is, as if we take USA as a person, it's very charismatic. It's like a natural leader. It's very courageous. It's bold, not afraid of making mistake in some sense. And weak side, I would say, if it is a person, need of validation. Constantly need to prove like we are the best.
We're the best.
And second, arrogant. Like third, hard to admit mistake. Like they cannot admit like we made a mistake. Like that's also and over aggressive. If we take America as a person, that would be the psychological image I would create of like America as a country. Now, what is happening is like from the astrological perspective, things does not look good. And kind of problem what I think can happen. Number one, there is a big possibility of let's say financial collapse in America. Very big possibility. And astrologically, if I have to predict that, then I would say, give me a second, please. From 2029 and 2030, these would be the 2 years, in my opinion, that the possibility of very serious financial problem to a point that it could be a financial collapse, that is, in my calculation, expected.
Can anything be done about it?
Right now, we have really a very powerful president, which, in my opinion, could be a great ruler. So let's hope that something would happen and we can avoid that. But in any case, this is not a small problem, no matter who is the president. Also, apart from that, the possibility of like natural disasters, such as very big volcano blast, big earthquakes, which normally doesn't happen in USA, big fires, floods, like many sort of natural calamities which America has not seen, that can also be there.
Well, a lot of them America has already seen, so you know.
Third is civil war.
Civil war.
That is something have not happened in USA for a very, very long time.
Yeah, in like
Betrayal from a
hundreds of-
state, that is state, United State. It became like one of the states says that we don't want to be part of this United States anymore.
And we know this state.
And that is very much possible. Plus, the biggest betrayal would come by the corporations. The current situation where America stands, partly it is because of the corporation greeds. And the system, like when you can do lobbying, like I can donate money for lobbying, it is such a stupid system in the sense that it's a legal way you can pay bribe in some sense. What happens like if I'm a petroleum company, and if I'm paying to someone as a donation, do you think it comes without any strings? Like if you take a gift from someone, if you choose to take any gift from someone, doesn't matter, this person doesn't say anything, but you would feel that you're obliged to do something
obliged,
for them in some sense. So the corporate greed, in some sense, is responsible for where America stands at this point of time. In another word, what happened is, if we take this horoscope from the old context, there are kings, and king had bad advisors. Like it had people which has influence from, let's say, like from the competitor and from people who doesn't want good for the country.
Yeah.
Something like that happened to USA in some sense. That is very much possible. Not very much possible, that is likely to happen. Corporates will start to move their jewel assets from out of the USA, and they will start to prepare that it can happen that USA start to go in not in a good direction, and they are anyway prepared for that. And that would be very big betrayal, because they are basically responsible. Their greed is responsible where America stand, and they, at the time of crisis, they would just run away.
Refer to, yeah.
They would run away. And also something which is possible, there might be a war on the land of America.
Which had never happened.
Which has never happened as far as like
for years, for hundreds of years.
That is very much possible, in my opinion. And that whole story, I think, the peak starts from 2029. After that, they will start to recover. Let's say like in 2030 a little bit. They will again recover 2031, 30. Like there would be still recovery. Then again, the second wave comes. That's 2033, 2034. And this would hit America very, very hard from all the angles. And I think this would be some of the most existential threat America has ever witnessed. And the problem, what problem I see, like from the astrological perspective, this is Rahu, which is planet of unconscious. And this is the planet which is also creating doubt. And this is also a planet which is planet of propaganda. So what's happening in America? What is the biggest reason right now in America, like, which is the biggest reason why America is where America is right now? The masses is divided. There is Democratic, there is Republican, but there is nothing like American in some sense. So Republican thinks that things has to be the way as Republican wants in some sense. Democratic thinks that they are entitled, not enlightened, they are entitled.
Entitled and enlightened.
Yeah, I mean, and they are not.
Well, which
Because,
they're
I mean,
not.
in my opinion, life is already has shown, life is about survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
And survival of fittest means you are fit or you are not fit. That is not your right. That is a hard work in some sense.
True.
And American masses, especially democratic ones, they think they are better than anybody else by birthright. And they are not. How America plans to compete, especially like according to this democratic people, to Chinese kid, to Indian kids? How? They would not be able to compete neither with the Chinese kid, neither with the Indian kid or the Asian kids. Because the level of hard work, the level of focus, how they're raised, it's a totally, totally different way of being raised than how kids are raised right now in America. So the American, parents, they behave, they are in competition with their children in some sense.
Yeah.
Not all of them, some of them.
Some of them,
They
a
think
lot
like
of
they
them.
need to be more like a child than their child themselves. Like if you put in some of the parents with their child, the parents look more, child compared to, child start to look like an adult in many cases. So that is one thing, the separation. Like there is very strong division. The second, they do not understand the seriousness of the mounting problems. They do not understand yet that such a serious problems they already have. So right now, for example, if there is someone really intelligent, what he will see? He will see the seriousness of the problem that this car is going down the valley, we are gonna hit something. It's
Down
like
the hill.
right now America in some sense is the Titanic. And now inside the Titanic, people are saying like, Why we don't have separate toilet for one person? Why don't we have separate bathroom for one person? Imagine, like you're in Titanic, there is already a red alert should be there that we are gonna hit, and people are asking, like where is my bathroom? Where is my toilet? What would happen with those passengers? Please tell me. I think that is the kind of situation, in my opinion, what America is having right now. What is the solution in some sense? Solution is the whole country comes to very clear understanding that these are the real problems, and forget about these problems which are created by the
Minor.
propaganda,
Which are
by
which-
Rahu,
yeah.
and just come to the serious problem. Our problem number one is how to pay the debt without destroying the economy,
The economy of the
without
country.
destroying, like without printing the money in some sense. How to do it? That should be probably the solution number one they should think about. Then they should think about what to do with that, like how to, the whole system of education has to be differented, the medical system has to be different, and how to create a unity within the country. Not this division, like I'm separate, I'm Republican, I'm Democrat, I'm straight, I'm gay. I mean, these should not be political problems. Who you are, what you choose in terms of your meal, what you choose in terms of your sexual preferences, these are very private matters. These should not be politicized. You understand what I mean?
Absolutely.
And this politicization of sexual energy that has been in the as one of the central tool throughout the centuries. Either it's a celibacy, don't do anything, or it's overindulge, like don't do anything classical. You have to, look totally different. So basically, both are extremes. And those extremes, once your sexual energy is perverted in some sense, it is manipulated, a person loses common sense. And that is what also happening. So people should be more having a responsibility, first of all, that where their life is going, not falling victim of any propaganda. Like whatever you have by nature, naturally, if you naturally feel that you would like to be in a certain manner, whatever sexual preference you have, there is no problem. There is nothing wrong or nothing right in that. But if you are being manipulated by a propaganda, either way, if you are a person which is straight and should not be straight because of the propaganda, probably that is also not right.
No.
Because you are the person who should feel and decide what you don't want to do with your life, not anybody else from the outside in some sense. Somebody has to be there in the sense, in my opinion, who makes sense right now, like rather than creating more division. Because already there are enough problems. America doesn't need more hate right now. America doesn't need more discriminations. America cannot even afford right now, in my opinion. Like, if you really ask me, like more problems from the perspective of more division,
No.
I think they cannot afford, because what they need to think, how fast they can understand the seriousness of the problem. It's a Titanic, which is about to hit. What they can do between now and that time, I think that will decide the future of America. The healing process of America, if they survive everything, will start from October 2036.
36.
Yes.
All right. So, like in 29 and 30, there will be a little sort of slow down in
It's more or less the same period which was Great Depression, astrologically. Like last time when something like this happened, that was close to Great Depression. And now it's much more harder than Great Depression, what happened in the past.
Can you see a possibility of at least going through these harsh periods not so well in a so to say easier
As I
way?
said, like as a country, like first of all, like you need to come together for a common purpose. The common purpose is how this Titanic should not hit. That's the common purpose.
Yeah.
And common purpose is not that while you are inside a heating Titanic, how you feel about your life in the last moment, that cannot be a common purpose.
No.
That would go against the very existence of something which should be saved. America is a great democracy. It has done a lot of good things to the world. And the problem to America would also create a lot of problem for the world. And it is in the interest of the world that America is powerful. It is in the interest of the world that America is on the right path. But for the moment, to me, it doesn't look that way.
No. Well, thank you very much, Puneet. That's
Thank you, Adem.
very, very important.
So, guys, what do you think about this? And please leave us your comment, your thoughts, and let's think how we can try to create a better world. Thank you.
Thank you.